Shalom, shalom. Brothers, introduce yourselves. Thing.
Ambassador Zion.
Ambassador Nawa. Hold on for a minute. I don't want to let them come on in. Come on in, y'all. Starting a little late. Coming on in, though. Come on.
Ambassador Yedaya Gabal. Gonna get this course in, or get this class in, like I said.
Got something heavy for y'all tonight. Heavy.
Good one for you.
Put this in the room.
Shalom, Sister Bethia.
I mean, it's not quite a tag team unless her sister Wanda is there. Wanda.
She'll come in.
Tag team, man.
She just late. She'll be here. All right, family, we about to get started. We got our brother Yedaya. He's about to do the class tonight. Title is Wisdom and Water, man. Wisdom and Water.
Water.
That's right.
I mean,
All right, brother.
The whole
on you.
The whole premise of this class, that as people have been watching some of the classes I've been bringing up, it's mostly about the elements, about the correlation between the elements, us, and the Most High. And as we've seen, wisdom circumvents the world. It goes all around the world, come back, and from the point that it starts and from the point that it comes back onto us, it's always the same. Every time we read the scriptures, Book of Proverbs, Wisdom of Solomon, in Genesis, everywhere in the scriptures we find wisdom. It's written the same, but every time we read it, we get a new understanding. And when was the first time, I'm asking the audience, what was the first time that Israel as a collective were striving or contesting with the Lord for water? That's one question. That's one. But there was a point in Israel when we had left Egypt and we were being hard-headed and we were murmuring, right? And what was the first thing we murmured for? Well, the first thing was water. My question is when? I need some answers in the chat. When? Because that particular point is very important because it shows to us that not only do we need wisdom from the Most High, but it is the one thing that we possess that all the other nations don't. They may call that their philosophy wisdom, but either it comes back onto Israel, it comes from the source Israel, or they warped it into something that is totally different, right? So, see, I don't I'm gonna get any answers from the chat. So let me keep moving. So get me Exodus 17, verse 5.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 17, verse 5. And the Elohim said unto Moses, Go on before the people, and take with thee of the elders of Israel, and thy rod, wherewith thou smotest the river. Take in thy hand and go. Verse 6. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it,
Mhm.
that the people may drink.
Mhm.
And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel.
Keep going.
And he called the name of the place Massah
Yeah.
and Meribah,
Mm-hmm.
because of the chiding of the children of Israel, and because they tempted the Elohim, saying, Is the Lord among us or not?
Is the Lord among us or not? Now, if you look at the words Massah and Meribah, Massah means testing. That means you testing the Lord. You're trying to see if the Lord is there. You're trying to tempt the Lord by insulting His presence. And Meribah means to strive or contention. Because as we know, our people, every time we would some event would happen, we would name that place after that event. Right.
Mhm.
So from jump, we was already bucking, murmuring, and testing the Lord and contending with the Lord. And what did Moses do? He struck the rock to get water, right? So we say struck the rock, which represented the Lord, to get water.
Mhm.
Now, water, in every instance that we see it, in many instances, water was a place either people met or people went to get counsel or to be counseled to or to be rebuked. But there's always some type of conversation going. There's always some type of counsel, some type of eloquent word, elegant proverbs, or something being said that is very important being said, right? And we even go to Genesis with Abraham. We could see that basically what happened there. Let's see. Give me Genesis 24, verse 15. Because this is a servant going to a well where Abraham sent that servant to find a wife for his son. Because he said in that same chapter, I don't want my son to be married to one of these Canaanite women. I want you to go back to my kin and find him a wife. Right? Go ahead. Read what you got, Lord.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 24, verse 15. And it came to pass, before he had done speaking, that behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulder. And the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin, neither had any man known her. And she went down to the well, and filled her pitcher, and came up. Verse 17. And the servant ran to meet her, and said, Let me, I pray thee, drink a little water of thy pitcher.
There you go. See that? And you can read that for yourself, but the servant, before we read verse 15, he was praying to the Most High to have the will of his master Abraham be fulfilled so he could meet the wife that he was supposed to bring back to Isaac. And lo and behold, at that place, at that well, did he, even after he's done speaking, barely finished, Rebecca came out. Boom. And everything transpired according to the will of the Most High. So it shows us that water is a place where people meet and you gain counsel or you gain much understanding because you are thirsty for wisdom. You are thirsty for what is necessary for you to prolong your own life even in the desert, people know that they don't value gold, they value water. So as our people knew, once I brought us into the wilderness, it wasn't gold that was more valuable. Sure, we had gold, we had all of that because we took it from the Egyptians. But at Meribah, Massa and Meribah, we didn't ask for gold. Man, we need water, man. Yo, what you brought us out here for? Man, yo, come on, man. We had everything back in Egypt. You brought us out here to die of thirst. They was murmuring. They weren't asking for gold. They wanted water. I'm thirsty. I want to survive. I want to live. The Most High gave them water. At the same time, we got understanding that, bro, anything we wanted, we got from the Lord. We had it from the Lord. Right? Now, give me Genesis 26 and 14. Because with water, right, it was a resource that demanded extensive work to get. Extensive work. Like you have to dig and dig and dig. Now you got water falling from the sky, but even then, you can't have it all the time. You have to dig for it, find wind spread, what's it called? Springs of water, Salah. But go ahead, read Genesis 26 and 14, Lord.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 26, verse 14. For he had possession of flocks and possessions of herds.
That's Abraham. Go ahead.
And great store of servants. And the Philistines envied him. Verse 15. For all the wells which his father's servants had digged in the days of Abraham, his father, the Philistines had stopped them.
So basically, the Philistines, they saw that Abraham, the father of nations, our ancestor, had wells, had stock, had like wealth beyond measure. He said, nah, we got to take this well. We got to fill this well up. We can't allow this man to keep increasing. Keep going.
God, the importance of water. And filled them with earth.
See that? Keep going.
Verse 16. And Abimelech said unto Isaac, go from us, for thou art much mightier than we.
Wait a minute. Now, from water, we was mightier than them. Just from water. We got all this wealth from water. Keep going.
Verse 17. And Isaac departed thence and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar and dwelt there. And Isaac digged again the wells of water, which they had digged in the days of Abraham his father.
Keep going.
For the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham.
See that? Keep going.
And he called their names after the names by which his father had called them.
See that? So you would think that as a Philistine, you would say, you know what? The wells are dug. Let us keep them. But then they would know. We're going to fill those holes and not allow nobody else to be able to drink from them, become wealthy. That is madness. Keep going.
Verse 19. And Isaac's servants digged in the valley and found there a well of springing water.
Keep going.
And the herdmen of Gerar did strive with Isaac's herdmen, saying, the water is ours. And he called the name of the well Esek, because they strove with him. And they dig another well and strove for that also. And he called the name of it Sitnah.
Go ahead.
And he removed from thence and digged another well.
How many wells did he dig, man? You see how necessary it is?
Yeah.
It's very necessary. Like, yo, a lot of brothers say, oh, I already did that business. So I built this. I don't need to build it again. Somebody robbed me, blah, blah, blah. I understand. But every time you do something over and over, you get mastery at it. The next time you do it, you won't have to expend the same energy. Because lo and behold, you'll say, I don't need to do it this way because I'll spend too much energy doing that way. I'll do it this way. And I get to the same point faster, not cutting corners. I'm just doing it faster this way because I know it'd be faster that way. And I'll be able to discern where I could find a wellspring of water based on the landscape. Right? Go ahead. Keep going.
Verse 22. And he removed from thence and digged another well. And for that they strove not. And he called the name of it Rehoboth. And he said, for now the Elohim have made room for us.
Made room for us.
And we shall be fruitful in the land.
Fruitful in the land.
And he went up from thence to Beersheba.
That's to us. So we could see that water is very important. Water, wisdom, and being calm in a situation of lack thereof is very important. Even NASA, they go into Mars, all these planets. What's the first thing they look for? You gotta look for water. We could find water there. We could survive anywhere. But the Philistines, they said, no, we're gonna fill them holes. We're not gonna allow anybody to become wealthy. That's wrong. But give me Genesis 1 and 6, Lord. Let's see at how many levels there are of water. That's like people think, oh, we're just gonna dig in the ground for water. No. Go ahead, Lord.
That's the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 6. And the Most High said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters.
Mm-hmm.
And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so.
What was it called?
And God called the firmament heaven.
That's one level of water. Keep going.
And the evening and the morning were the second day.
Okay. Keep
And
going.
the Most High said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so.
Now,
And the
okay, go ahead.
And the Elohim called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas.
Seas. So that means that there's water up in the sky, in the heavens. There's water upon the earth, and the earth is made up of 70% water. And now you have water underneath the ground. Now give me Isaiah 55 and 8. Watch this.
And the Most High saw that it was good.
Come on. And as you remember, there was a man in Buffalo. He found he could take out water from the air and use that water to make automobiles work on water. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
That's high level. I mean, that you could say, yo, we could have made planes that work on steam to fly by taking water from the air and making it into gas to propel itself. That's a self-perpetuating mechanism.
That's
beautiful.
You're talking about the guy in Buffalo, right?
Yeah, the one that got killed.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. That's why he got killed. But anyway.
Things that make you say,
Brother.
We're the greatest people on the planet, man.
I'm telling you, there's nobody better. Like, the enemy saw, wait a minute. You could take water out of the air and make it propel machines? That's a self-perpetuating system. Now we can't allow that. We're making too much money with these gasoline here, man.
that's right. You can't monetize the air.
We can't monetize it. People are gonna revolt. I'll be like, what the hell? Nah, man, I'm not paying no gas no more. Give me that car over there from that Israelite right there. And that Israelite making that call, give me that call. Boom. Israelite be like, yo, it's gonna be $100,000. It don't matter. It'll pay itself. In 5 years, it'll pay itself.
That's right.
Come on, man. Go
They
ahead.
made a movie about something like that.
The death of the electric car.
I can't think of the name.
Who killed the electric car?
Yeah, but it was about hydrogen and water, H2O,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And they were trying to figure it out and they couldn't. And this guy here did it in real life. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's crazy, you know?
Crazy.
So 55 and what?
55 and 8.
Okay, kind of. But this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Elohim.
Mm-hmm.
For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.
And your thoughts.
For
And
as the rain cometh down,
Kun,
and the snow from heaven, and
kun,
returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud,
bud. See
that
that?
it may, that
That
it
is-
may
Go ahead.
give seed to the sower,
Hmm.
and bread to the eater.
Bread to the eater. I mean, that wisdom showed you that that man that created that mechanism to make water out of thin air, you can't tell me he's not a man of the Lord. You can't tell me he's not an Israel. Most High put it in his spirit. It's just like in the book of Numbers. The Most High had a brother, I don't remember his name, but I need to look for it. So like everyone. But he said to that man basically to create all the horns, the instruments. That was his skill. That was given to him. That was his wisdom. Right? So just like that, Most High could give you wisdom according to your desire. You just ask for it, you're gonna get it. But you're gonna have to get down with drinking this water,
God.
whether it be cold or hot or at room temperature. Gotta get down with it, man. Can you give me a Proverbs 20 and 5?
Proverbs. God, it's the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 5. Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out.
Wait a minute, man. What did Abraham, Isaac do? Did they not draw out water? They drew out water from the earth. That means that within ourselves, through doing that type of work, whether it be one time or repetitive, a certain lesson that is intangible is ensued upon you because you have to dig and dig and dig to get to that water. It humbles you, man. You imagine going days and days upon end not having water? You take these things for granted in this world. We go to the store and buy water, right? Or get some smart water. I don't know what type of vitamins in there. I don't feel smart after drinking it. You go buy smart water or Essentia, and you feel, oh man, I'm good, man. I feel nice. You don't have to go digging for that water. Or put a bag. Go ahead.
I don't remember interrupting you, but you was talking about drawing out of water. They was drawing water.
Mm-hmm.
But then Moses, he was drawn.
Yes.
Water,
Come. I was
Right.
getting to that. Yeah.
so that's where okay. I'm gonna leave you alone.
Come. That's his name. Moses, meaning drawn from the Nile. He was drawn from the water. But that means that man, at the end, didn't he go up into the Mount Sinai? Didn't he learn things that other people didn't learn? Give me, you know what? Give me Second Esdras chapter 14, verse 4. Watch this.
You want to get that out of one?
I get it. Second Esdras.
Chapter 14, verse 4. Watch this.
The book of Second Esdras, chapter 14. We'll start at verse 4. And I sent him and led my people out of Egypt and brought him up to the Mount Sinai, where I held him by me for long season and told him many wondrous things and shewed him the secrets of times and the end and commanded him, saying, these words shalt thou declare, and these shalt thou hide.
Shalt thou hide. How many people think there are people out there that say, oh, he stayed up there, just got 10 commandments. But there we just heard that Most High gave him stuff to declare, and other things he said, yo, you're gonna keep that to yourself. You ain't gonna share this. And keep in mind, like the brother Nawar just brought up, Moses was drawn from the Nile, was drawn from water. And like we all, men, women that are Israelites, we come out of where? Our mother's womb, which is within water. Placenta is made up of water.
Yeah.
So we're taken out of the mother's womb. And you're not going to, from the moment we're born, but for sure, we don't like it here. It's hell. You know what I'm saying? We don't like it. But same like Abraham, we got to dig inside ourselves and draw it out. Draw out that wellspring of wisdom that the Most High gave us at birth. He knew us from before we was born. He knew us. Like, I gave you this. You just have to draw it out from yourself. Draw it out to the best ability, man.
That's hard, brother. That's deep. That's deep right there.
That's heavy.
Beautiful.
I'm saying, yeah. Give me also Proverbs 18 and 4.
I mean, your whole body is pretty much made of water.
With water.
You know what I'm saying? 70%, right? Something like that. Man. Oh, wow. Your brain sits in water.
It bathes in it.
Yep.
And keep in mind, the so-called white man, we use only 10%. I don't know about them, but you delve into the scriptures, you digging in deep, man.
Yeah.
Who got it?
Father, begin out of one.
Proverbs 18 and 4.
I'll get it.
Draw it out, man.
Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 4. The words of a man's mouth are as deep waters, and the wellspring of wisdom as a flowing brook.
Give me verse 21 of the same chapter.
Verse 21, Proverbs 18, verse 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
The fruit thereof. That means that's why in the New Testament, Yahushua, when the sons of thunder wanted to bring down rain fire upon the enemies of Yahushua, what did Yahushua say? He said, nah, don't do that, man. Yo, your mouth could bring death. Yo, come on, man. Most High sent me for a job. Even himself, he said, yo, if that be thy will, remove this cup from me. If that be thy will. He didn't say, Most High, do this. He said, if that be thy will. So your mouth, whatever you say, could make or break you, man. But like the verse 4 said, your mouth is a wellspring It's a place of wisdom. So as such, it should pump out water that is vital for our people at all times. Man. Like boom, you're sitting around your friends, your family. You have a question, you answer them with wisdom. And sometimes when you're so deep into it, you spring wisdom that is from the scriptures, but it's said in a different way for them to understand because you're in tune with them, so they get and understand. Oh wow, yeah. All right, I'll do that. I'll follow your advice. But you can't. You can never force people to drink it. Just like it says, you could take a horse and lead it into water, but you can't force it to drink.
That's right.
You can't force it to drink. Lords, give me Proverbs 5 and 15.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 5, verse 15. Drink waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well.
Mhm.
Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and the rivers of water in the streets. Let them be only thine, and not strangers with thee. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth.
See that? So Abraham, when he was building them wells, Abraham and Isaac, when they were building them wells, it was being filled with dirt. He didn't mind. He was like, yo, I want to build this well, other people can drink. They're just like our own wisdom. When we speak wisdom around the enemy, it's water that we offer to our people, but we can't stop other people from listening. If they're here, they're here. But that's not for them. It's not for them to grasp. And if they grasp it, good. Because it's going to help us by keeping them at bay. Because by us speaking the words of the Most High and wisdom of the Most High, it keeps us safe. Because they need water too. They need to survive too. So they have to respect it. Which is why when Esau came back from hunting and he didn't find anything, what did he do? He said to Jacob, man, give me that porridge, man. Like, what you going? Jacob was a hustler. He said, what you going to give me for? What you going to give me for? I'll give you my birthright, man. You going to give me your birthright? Yeah, what is this use for me for you? What's the use for me to do with it now? I'm about to die. We gave him the porridge. Lo and behold, it was a bowl of soup, water that got the brother all that this title, what we have. It was a liquid, man. Which makes us understand that wisdom, like it says, give me 2nd Ezra 5 and 42.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 5. Call the verse again, another one.
42.
Chapter 5 and verse 42. And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring, like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first. So I answered and said, couldst thou not make those that have been made, and be now, and that ought for to come?
That's too wild.
Once?
That's too wild. See that? So judgment is another word for, if you look in the dictionary, judgment is another word for common sense or wisdom. Because judgment is basically, like the brother Nawa said last week, is looking at a situation and making the right choice. That's righteous judgment. Now, wisdom, you could read it today, and then a year later, you could look at the same scripture, and in that specific circumstance last year, it had one meaning, and the following year you read it again, it had a different meaning because of the circumstance you're in. Because you could come to a well and be like, I don't need to drink, but I'm going to grab some water and put it in the pitcher to carry with me, or my cistern, right? But the following year, man, you ain't got nothing. You fell upon the same well, and you have to struggle or have a sister, beloved sister Rebecca was such a delight. Pour the pitcher in your for your horses or your camels or in your cup for you to be able to drink because you ain't got nothing. You're at death's door. So wisdom and water to me are intertwined. We can't separate them. And as it says, we should drink from our own system. So we should go about our people and be like, Zion, man, I got a problem. What should I do? This is the situation. X, Y, Z, A, B, and C. What you think? And knowing Zion, you be like, let me go in the scriptures, man. Flip them pages. Read that scripture. Read that scripture. And knowing now why, you're gonna be like, wait a minute, brother. Wait a minute, brother. You know what I'm saying? You gonna come on the side though. Wait a minute. I got something for you. Go into this scripture. And that's how conversations are made. That's how scriptures come out. Because we're all digging in that same position, in that same place to dig that wellspring and bring out that water that's necessary for us to move forward. It's not a cup that is half empty. It's a cup that is half full.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But what happens when we go after other philosophies? Give me Proverbs 14 and 12. Watch this.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 12.
We go after other philosophies of the Chinese, the Japanese, the so-called white man, instead of going back to our own heritage, the Bible, the wellspring of life, the tree of life, from which Moses got all the laws that he declared, and even things that he hid, that the Lord told him to hide from us. Go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 12. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
Are the ways of death, man. Yo, you're right. You see a situation, right? You see somebody do something, you say, you know what, man? I wouldn't do this, I would do that. Or you think of your own mind and you're on your own, thinking that you could dig a well in the desert alone at night. You're blind, man. You can't. There's not even a moonlight in the sky. You think you could dig a well in the desert to find water? You're gonna bug yourself out, man. You're gonna bug out, man. You're gonna be like, damn, I need water. I need water. You digging. You can't even see your hand in front of your face. But you say, nah, I'm gonna do it alone. I'm a big man. I'm tough. You bug out and you die, man.
You start seeing those illusions, right?
You want to
like,
be
man,
the man on
water
camera.
over there.
Come on, man. Come on.
Crazy.
That's crazy. Give me Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 6.
I've got.
Because we're going to see what it takes to gain wisdom. And it's not a lot. It's something we all have. But we're using it in the wrong direction for the wrong people.
Call it again, out of one.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 6.
Gone out of one. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 6. For wisdom is a loving spirit, and will not acquit a blasphemer of his words. For the Most High is witness of his reigns, and a true beholder of his heart.
Of his heart. That means that within yourself, you have to have a loving spirit. And we love each other. We love each other with a love that is a burning love, right? But from time to time, you can't let our own fire within us get out of control. We got to quench it with wisdom, man. Quench it with what? You got to calm down. You know how our people are. We want to exact judgment on people. We're supposed to sit back and like, wait a minute. There's something I'm not seeing. There's a piece missing. You gotta calm down, grab a cup of water, right? Drink. Be like, brother, XYZ. Explain to me the situation again. Even if I know it's hard against us. When something is done against us personally, man, Israel, I'm talking about like people that are not practicing Israelites and Israelites alike. Man, we quick to pick up that hammer of anger, that blunt instrument, and start smashing people.
Mhm.
We should grab a cup of water and be like, let me just twist my tongue around my mouth 7 times. And then 77 times 7. And ask a question. Can you explain it one more time? Yo, you could ask the person to explain it 7 times faster. Because as we have spoken, we have read from the scriptures, the mouth of man, there's life and death in it. Man. And even in the scriptures, it tells you what? I think it's Ecclesiasticus 6. It's hard to regain a friend that you've offended. You offend a person, man. It's gonna be harder to regain than a whole city. It's difficult, which is why brothers be like, twist that. Let me think. Because Esau is quick for that sword, Lord. Which is why, you know what, man? Let me grab my sword for a minute. Let me go in the other room for a minute and come back and talk to you. You go in the scriptures, man, this guy, man. Oh, he caused me problems, man. You know what? Give me Proverbs 24 and 10. And now what? Give me Proverbs 25 and 28. Man, you angry in the corner.
Something I want to bring out too. I don't want.
Good.
Go ahead. You go ahead first. And I'm come after you.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, and verse 10. If thou faint in the day of adversity, it's a lot.
No problem.
It's a lot. It's a lot. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, and verse 10.
I get it. You want me to get the other one?
Day of adversity, thy strength is small.
If we what?
If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small.
Cunt. I mean, you, man. See? Now, go ahead now. Give me what you got.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 25, verse 8, right?
Verse 28.
Verse 20. Lucky. 28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
You have to have control of your own spirit, man. If you have to, you're angry, go grab a bottle of water, man. Just put it down. Put it down. Just drink. And there's brothers, even me sometimes, I get so riled up sometimes my blood starts to boil. My body starts to itch. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm not anywhere near perfect. Which is why I'll be drinking water. Be like, it already happened, man. It is what it is. But go ahead now, what?
I just want to bring out this Ecclesiastes, 2nd chapter. All right. I'm gonna read it. I'll read it. So verse 2, 2nd chapter, verse 3. I sought in my heart to give myself unto wine, yet acquainting my heart with wisdom, and to lay hold on folly, till I might see that was that good for the sons of men, which they should do under the heaven all the days of their life. I made me great works. I builded me houses and planted me vineyards. I made me gardens and orchards and planted trees in them of all kind of fruits.
Mhm.
I made me pools of water
Mhm.
to water therewith the wood that bringeth forth trees. Y'all get what that's saying? Spiritually, in a spiritual mindset, I took water. Because men are what?
Trees.
Looked at as what? Trees.
Trees. Ezekiel 31 and 8.
Okay. So it says, I made pools of water to water therewith the wood that bringeth forth trees. So the things that you're saying about the water and the importance of water to bring forth that wisdom, which is water, right? Bring forth what? Trees, mighty trees, cedar trees, right? I'm gonna keep going though. It says, I got me servants and maidens, and had servants born in my house. Also, I had great possession of great and small cattle above all that were in Jerusalem before me. I gathered me also silver and gold, and peculiar treasure of king, Salaki, peculiar treasure of kings and of the provinces. I got me men singers and women singers, and the delights of the sons of men as musical instruments, and that of all sorts. I'm gonna read down a little bit, okay? So I was great and increased more than all that were before me in Jerusalem. Also, my wisdom remained with me, and whatsoever my eyes desire, I kept not from them. I withheld not my heart from any joy, for my heart rejoiced in all my labor, and this was my portion of all my labor. Then I looked on all the works that my hands had wrought, and on the labor that I had labored to do. And behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit, and there was no profit under the sun. I turned myself to behold wisdom and madness and folly, for what can the man do that cometh after the king, even that which have been already done? Then I saw that wisdom excelleth folly, as far as light excelleth darkness. Isn't that what you was going into?
Come.
Wisdom, right? Excelleth folly, and far as light excelleth darkness. The wise man's eyes are in his head, but the fool walketh in darkness. And
Digging
I
well.
myself perceive also that one event happeneth to them all. So I was just bringing that out because that's what you was going into, you know.
One event happened in them all, man. That's why when you have children and you can give them all the wealth in the world, if you don't have the wisdom,
Right.
and wherewithal and understanding from the scriptures to know what to do with that wealth, they're going to squander it.
God, what's that?
They're gonna. It's like giving a young boy or a young daughter a sword and a garden to feed off of, but all he does is going around and chopping up trees and chopping up corn and just spraying pesticide everywhere because he has money in the house. So I don't need all of that outside, and I'm gonna fill the well, and I don't need no water. You are burning what your forefathers gave you. You literally put fire to everything because as parents, we have to give them the wisdom to say, if a neighbor come to his house or a poor man of Israel pass through the field, he could grab some corn and leave because that's in the law. That's in the scriptures. He should be able to grab something and eat and be on his way. You shouldn't chase it. But a man that doesn't have an understanding from his parents be like, yo, you stole some corn. Yo, get over here. And lo and behold, that man had family members and he was going to meet them. And you afflicted that man just for one piece of corn because you lacked wisdom.
God. If I could be heard, let me can I bring something out?
Go ahead. Yeah, good.
Okay. This is Isaiah chapter 5. I'm gonna start at verse 10 because I'm just gonna read the passage and then I'll give the understanding. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 10. Yea, 10 acres of a vineyard shall yield one bath, and the seed of a homer shall yield an ephah. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink, that continue until night, till wine inflame them.
Mm-hmm.
And the harp and the violin and the tambourine and pipe and wine are in their feast, but they regard not the work of the Most High, neither consider the operations of his hand. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and the multitude dried up with thirst. So this strong wine is not talking about a literal wine or liquor. This is talking about philosophies and folly. So we wake up early in the morning to chase, to find out what Kanye talking about with his ex-wife. Or we checking Instagram first thing in the morning when we wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of waking up in the morning, cracking open your scriptures, your Bible app, giving all praise to the Most High. That's why our people has gone into captivity, because we're dried up with thirst. We don't have that wisdom, or as it says here in verse 13, because they have no knowledge. And the honorable men are famished, and their multitude have dried up with thirst. We don't have that water, that wisdom. So with that, I digress. I don't want.
That was too wild, Lord. That was too wild.
And so, Lucky, I don't mean to take your class over. Can I get just one more?
Come. No, go ahead, Lord.
Just one more. Because what he said made me think about a chapter. It's Proverbs 7, right? So Proverbs 7 is also a chapter that it's not a literal sense. This is talking about philosophies and things like that, right? It's also talking about women too. Now, this is twofold. Okay, and the reason it says, so unto wisdom, this is 7 and 4. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman, that they may keep thee from the strange woman. A strange woman is philosophies, right? Because when we wake up, like you said, when we wake up in the morning, all we want to do is what? Get on Instagram, get on Facebook, and all those different things, right? It says, from the stranger which flattereth with her words, for the widow of my house I looked through my casement and beheld among the simple ones. I discern among the youths a young man void of understanding, right? Passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way of her house in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. Her house, meaning that wisdom, that philosophy. Okay, you went into her house. Okay, and it says, and behold, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot and subtile of heart. She is loud and stubborn, her feet abide not in her house. That's also talking, that's twofold. Like I said, that's twofold. It's talking about the woman, and it's talking about philosophies. Philosophy is loud also. These different things that we get into. The internet, right? The internet. That's loud and boastful. It messes with the mind. Okay? And it says, she is loud and stubborn, and her feet bite in her house. Now is she without now in the streets, and lieth in wait at her every corner. So she caught him and kissed him, and with a impudent face said unto him, I have peace offerings with me. This day have I paid my vows. Right? So I just wanted to bring that up, because what he was saying about how we just go to different philosophies and different things, this is also talking about how this woman, but it's also philosophy, okay, these different understandings, different doctrines and things like that, we get into those things.
I mean,
and it makes what? Go into darkness. It makes us this, it's deceit. Like a woman can grab you the same way.
These different doctrines are like the wind.
Right.
It pushes you to and fro, and next thing you know, you're going in the whole different direction.
That's right.
Which is why, if you go to Matthew 8:26, watch this. Yahushua, he did not play, man. Yahushua did not play. He was like, I'm going in this direction. And this is where we're going.
It's about Matthew 8, verse 26. And he said unto them, why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith?
Because there was a storm, right? There was a storm. The winds was blowing. Yo, there was a storm going around. And as we said, philosophies are like the wind. They come to and fro. They push you all over the place. You going?
Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea. And there was a great calm.
A great calm, man. So it's like, yo, you hear people bringing all types of philosophies your way, talking about, yo, you should bow down to this statue, or bring incense to that statue. Like, what, man? Yo, don't you better stop it, man, before I bring a rock up your head. I'm gonna calm down and just rebuke you with like Yahushua with a great calm, as calm as that could be. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't go ballistic on you. But you ain't gonna bring this philosophy in. It got to go. Either it go from your mind or you gotta go with it.
Done.
It gotta leave, gotta be on his way, because like Yahushua in that boat, in that storm, we're going there, man. This is where we're going. We gotta go spread the word over there. That the wind, not the sea, is gonna stop me from going to my point. Y'all got anything, brothers?
Yeah, I got something. Still in the book of Isaiah, I'm going to 28, chapter 7. Chapter 28, verse 7. But they have erred through wine, and through strong drink are they out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink, because they're giving us all these different philosophies, the Trinity, the John 16 misunderstanding, the immaculate deception, come as you are. God, hates the sin, but he loves the sinner. Rainbow flags hanging outside of the churches. So it says again, the priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision. They stumble in judgment. For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. And we all know this. For whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk, drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little and there a little. So you got to go into the scriptures. You can't speak out of your own mind. And that's what these priests and these pastors do. Christianity is woven deeply. It's way bigger than just Caesar Borgia.
Way bigger.
And how can you take a man's glory and make it your own? It's like saying, oh, I have an ancestor that went to war and went to battle in Israel, and I'm descended. Yeah, you're descended from them, but as the scriptures say, what? You have to study to show thyself approved. The ancestors did their work. You can't claim theirs as yours. And you can take example. Of course, man. Yo, this is how the ancestors did it. This is how the Most High showed us how to do it. I'm going to do it like that. But these pastors are like, nah, man. I got to make a name for myself. Brother, if the Most High wanted you to be famous, he'll put you up there. But they're doing that for their own vanity, for their own pockets. And as Malachi 3:8 says, who shall rob God? Man, I know Zion, brother Zion, and brother Nawar, brothers and sisters in Israel. Nobody wants to rob the Lord.
Ah,
Nobody wants to rob the Lord. Go inside this house and say, "Yo, this is mine," and be on your way. What happened to them Philistines when they stole the ark, man? Come on, man. Come on, man. Yo, I never had hemorrhoids, and I'm not gonna start now.
and the Most High, man, the Most High is funny, man.
Yo, man,
It's hilarious.
I've gotten everything he wanted.
He give him
He got
hemorrhoids.
him with hemorrhoids, man.
Samuel.
I'm gonna get y'all in the cheeks. I'll put in PG as much as possible. I'm gonna get y'all where you can't even sit down no more.
One to one at the water.
The water,
H flood. Yeah, for this super chat, the water.
the water.
I'll pray.
I mean, you know, it's like when you got a Almighty Father like that. You know, sometimes it's the greatest comedy show, better than any TV show that's been on Earth, man.
Most High is hilarious, man.
Yo, he
Let
said,
me get this. Let me get our famous scripture.
he said, hold it, bow.
Let me get Hosea 4:6.
You want to bring it out, or you want me to read it?
Let me get start at just start at 1. You just go all the way down.
Count out of one. Count. It's the book of Hosea, chapter 4, starting at verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land.
Just start right there. Just like my dear brother here, Zion was saying, our people are, I don't know, they're not receiving any knowledge because of our pastors. That's supposed to be our leaders, right? Our leaders are supposed to be out here speaking according to this word, according to this Bible. There's no knowledge of the Most High no more. You can't find that nowhere out here in these homes. Nobody is preaching that. My mom used to preach that when I was young. At least you have some type of fear of the Most High. Get away from that window. Lightning gonna strike you. It'd be something that's gonna fear you of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna watch your back. You're always gonna be looking over your shoulder, making sure that I'm not doing nothing wrong. At least you had something there. You know what I'm saying? Today you don't have nothing. These young brothers, they just out here doing whatever. Sisters out here twerking. I seen this video. This girl, she driving. It was in the car. This girl was driving. She in the back. She's twerking. The girl drive off and she hit the pavement in the middle of the road. Somebody could have ran her over.
Hey, you know what's funny? You said, you close to the window, and your father would whip you. I'll tell everybody a story, right? Mm-hmm. When I was a kid, I had no fear. But that was a time where, you're a kid, you watch TV, you watch Superman, and I'm on the 7th floor. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I could fly. Yo, Superman could fly, man. I could take off too, man. Yo, I had that faith, brother. I said, nah, I'm going to take off.
I hope not.
I'm living on the 7th floor. And next, I have those old Israelite mama scarves, those big scarves that look like a whole pattern on them. I had them right on my neck. I was about to take off, man. Mm-hmm. And my uncle come in the room. He's like, "What are you doing?" "I'm about to fly. I'm about to take off." "Where you going, boy?" "Come over here." And I said, "Uncle, you whip me?" "Yeah, I whip you, boy. What you want to do?" I said, "When my daddy come, he gonna deal with you." My father came, said, "What? You said that?" I got a second whoop. Man.
Yeah, man.
I said, My mama about to come home, man. You not test for 3, man. I
Yeah,
kept
man.
quiet,
Your,
Lord.
your era, my era is 2 different eras too. You got to understand that. Your era is you're a little younger than I am, but the fact is, our parents used to. I know. I think it's coming out of that era of the '60s and '50s and things like that. We still had a little bit, like I always say, had a little togetherness, and we feared the Most High a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It was there. It was like God gonna do this, God gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? But today you just don't have none of that, man, at all. None of it. And that's why our children are kind of out of, not kind of, but are out of order.
Of course, because
You know, because
back
there's
in
no fear of the Most High there whatsoever.
back in back
Ain't
in
no
the day,
God. It ain't no God.
back
You
in
know
the
what I'm saying?
day,
It ain't no. It's
back in the
crazy.
back in the day,
Mhm.
our parents would have conversations, like grown-up conversations. You were trying to interject it with just, "What you doing, boy? You could be 15, you could be 20. Nah, don't come in our conversation, man. This is grown folk.
Mhm.
Don't come in here, man. There was order.
Yeah.
There was order.
Yeah.
Like, even my father was 40 at the time. My grandfather said, yo, I need to talk with my people. They're over there. My father's 40 years old plus, and he still had to stay in order.
Hmm.
There was no, you come in and interject in the conversation out of nowhere, or say something when you weren't asked. No way, man. Not today. That is gone, Lord.
God.
Now kids are saying, oh, Daddy, you owe me an apology because you yelled at me because you thought I did this. What? Wait a minute. You're under whose roof? As I recall, you're under my roof and under the roof of the Most High. You gonna back talk?
God.
Come on, man.
God. Because your parents and your if you did have a father that was there a little bit, you know what I'm saying? He is like, he's the to 1 Corinthians 11, God, Christ, and man, right?
Hmm?
Boom. Your daddy was like him. Because when you saw your father, you straighten up. You know what I'm saying? That's how our daddy was. He made sure that house was in order. When he came in, you feared your father. Your daddy gonna spank you when you get home. Your daddy gonna do. That's what happened. But that's not around no more. It's not there. These days are entirely different, man. But keep reading on that. Oh, start from the top again and then go to the second because I wanted to flow into each other and
Come.
see what happened.
This is the
If
book
it's
of
not
Isaiah,
today.
chapter 4, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
For the Lord have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land.
Mm-hmm.
By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood.
See that? Blood touches blood. Murder, adultery, lying, swearing, killing, stealing. There's no order there, man. Whatsoever. Ain't none. There's no God there. Period. Here in the mirror is none. That is over with. It's removed from America. Period. Read on, another one.
Verse 3. Therefore shall the land mourn.
Therefore should the land what?
Therefore shall the land mourn.
Are not people in mourning? You see our mothers mourn all the time that their children have been murdered. Right? People dying left and right. Diabetes, not eating right, not eating swine, all that kind of stuff. Right? Read on, another one.
And everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish.
Shall do what?
Shall languish.
Shall languish. You don't have no leadership. We don't have no leadership in our homes or nothing. It's languish. Okay? Read on.
And everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish with the beast of the field
Mm.
and with the fowl of heaven.
Mm.
Yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away.
Is that not happening? It's happening today, man. This is real. This Bible is alive. Believe that. Go on.
Verse 4. Yet let no man strive, nor reprove another.
Mm.
For thy people are as they that strive with the priests.
They strive with the priest, don't they? Do they not?
Come.
Priests tell them, hey, you guys do what y'all want to do, man. Just come and get dipped in this water and then give me your money.
And a priest is according to scripture, is a person that is spreading seeds among the soil, right?
Supposed to. Huh?
Back then, with our ancestors in the scriptures, they would spread seeds to teach the people right, wrong, the law, salvation, faith, right? Now these pastors are just taking bad seeds or weeds and planting them on purpose to make a profit.
That's right.
It's like a snake oil salesman. You come in town, he give you disease, and next turn around he said, "Oh, you got this disease, or I got this cure." But the cure is like on tap. It's like opening the tap water just a little bit to get one drop at a time. People go to church trying to learn from scriptures about something that is important, but they're barely getting the scriptures piecemeal. They're getting crumbs, man, and they're thirsty. Like the scripture said, people are
Thirsty.
They're thirsty, man.
No water.
That's why the Most High sent us, just like Abraham, going out there and digging wells, man. Dig. I don't care if they fill it up, man. Whoever could catch water from that well, it did his job, man. It did his job. Yo, the Philistines come, they putting dirt in there. Don't worry, Most High is going to take care of those people. I want you to keep digging, keep striving, man. Because you got to keep moving. Movement is life. In the wilderness, our ancestors kept moving, man, from one place to another.
Mm-hmm.
They kept moving, and every time we move, first order of business, let's put up the tents, let's get some water. Let's go. Let's get it moving, man. Get moving.
Yeah.
That's how it was. That's how we got to be. Or else, if we get complacent with these other nations and start absorbing their philosophies, and not like Brother Zion said, we waking up in the morning and be like, "Yo, what's going on with Kim Kardashian? Oh, she left that Pete Davidson fella." And even worse, the brother Kanye, he's even more petty. He's going on Instagram talking to those two Edomites. One is a 30-year-old Edomite who was used like a used paper towel, and the other woman, I won't say it, she's a demon, man. She goes from man to man to man to man. She's never satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
There's always an issue. There's always a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And you occupying your mind with this. You should be doing other things. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, that guy, he didn't understand that he was getting played. You know what I'm saying? So now he in the hospital. Now he in the hospital going crazy. So
yeah, sure.
What it did. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading on that. I'm gonna get to this last point and I'm done.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore shalt thou fall in the day,
and
the prophet also shall fall with thee in the night, and I will destroy thy mother.
Gonna destroy our mother. Right? What's our mother? Wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Messiah is going to destroy that. And what has happened? We are destroyed. That's why you're about to go into it. Give me that 6.
Verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Because they rejected. When we in the streets, things like that, when we just talking to someone, they don't want to listen. They reject it because they don't believe that there's what? A power. They don't believe that there's a God. You know what I'm saying? They don't believe that. They believe in this philosophy, this wisdom of this world, money.
Like,
You know?
if you have enough wisdom, you look at a tree and how it bears fruit. And even if you don't eat of that fruit and it falls to the ground, it regenerates that tree. That's a self-perpetuating system in itself. You think there's not a being that designed it that way?
Mm.
You have to be foolish beyond measure, man. Like, you just look at, there are times I would sit on the front porch of the house and be like, yo, as a kid, oh, how does that tree work? How come the wind make me so cool when it's so hot? How come that squirrel knows to run inside up that tree when it sees that cat? Why?
Mm-hmm.
There's a work that's being done. There's a thought process behind everything.
Okay.
How come a deer knows not to enter a cave? It has fear, which denotes intelligence. But more than that, it knows that if I don't go in there, I'll go get water over here. And as beings of the Most High, we eat creatures that are cloven footed. And where do they go? They don't go into caves. They go where there's trees, where there's water. And as we need water, we get sustenance in more than one way.
Yeah, berries, things like that. Yeah.
There's levels to this, man. People don't.
Just the smaller things like the ant,
Correct.
for instance, and how it works and survives. You know what I'm saying? And it builds. How can you not believe that there's a guy with that little ant has a heart in it, man? Who designed that? That's crazy. You know what I mean? Gnats. Something gotta be pumping them to fly.
Look at this. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 3. The bee is little among such as fly.
Mm-hmm.
For her fruit is the chief of sweet things.
God.
Now, you see that, and you're like, man, a small insect like that put in all that work for a small little jar of honey, man. And I'm a big fan of pancakes, man. And I don't put nothing on my pancakes except honey, man. I thank the Lord for that sweetness, because y'all take some work, Lord. I let the Edomite get stung and get Yo, you get stung.
I think they so perverse. I think they enjoy getting stung. But anyways, start from the top. We'll get on why and read on down, man. I'm gonna end it right here. I could go over that, we're gonna end it right there.
Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
They forgot that water, man. They forgot that thirst. They forgot that law. That's our heritage, man.
And it takes,
you know what I'm saying?
It takes discipline, man. Waking up, watering your plants, and even before doing that, you're watering yourself. Like the brother Sion said, open the scriptures, man. It could be for 15 minutes. It could be for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be surprised. You open the scriptures at a page that you don't even count on opening to, and you gain something from it, man.
Right.
Something you was thinking about for weeks and weeks on end, and you open the scriptures, boom, the answer's right there.
Right. Our brother Ibadas, I just put in the comments, man. It says, go to the ant, thou sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler. You can't tell me that's not no guide there, man.
and that reminds me of the story of the ant and the grasshopper. I don't know if it's a French story, where it's all about the ant for the whole summer, he was working, gathering fruits, nuts, everything he could find during the summer. And the grasshopper just sitting around chilling. Yo, he's playing the guitar. He's having a good time. He's like, yo, why you working, man? Yo, bro, the winter's coming. Nah, it's far away, man. You could keep chilling, man. Playing the guitar. And he's playing the guitar every day. He's making fun of the ants. They're like, yo, Ant, man, you dumb, man. Why you still working, man? You busting your ass and the winter's like far away. He said, yo, okay, man. Ant said, no problem, man. You do you. Yo, and every day, man, and he compounding the wealth, compounding the food, compounding everything he's getting. And suddenly, winter came. And then the grasshopper was like, yo, you gotta help a brother, man. Doesn't that sound familiar? Sounds to me like Esau to me. Yo, you gotta help me, man. Nah, man, I can't help you, man. And went to his hole. He held up during the winter, and he's sitting around in his hole, just eating the food. Bop, bop, bop. I'm putting food in his mouth. I mean, meanwhile, the grasshoppers out there freezing to death.
What is saying Obadiah, the first chapter? Until he can't get enough. You know what I'm saying? He always puts in his mouth. You know? You take everything. That man will take everything.
He will glean the ground. You look up what gleaning means. You will see how evil it is. Yeah, you literally on the ground, on all fours, just grabbing what's falling on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That's wicked. With that, I ain't got nothing else, brothers.
Got anything, Zion?
I just want to say to Wab lesson, I don't want.
The water, Lord.
It's very insightful.
The water.
That was a great lesson, man. Great lesson. Y'all keep supporting us, man. Keep supporting the water ladies and brothers for y'all donations tonight. We appreciate that. Sister Wanda, Sister Kanai, Sister Beverly, y'all always here supporting us.
Con.
The water.
I was wondering, like brother will tell you, we was wondering where Sister Wanda was. Like, yo, Beverly well Wanda, they ain't no tag team, man.
God.
Yo, it's like I would say Batman and
Three
Robin.
amigos. Yeah, three amigos.
Three amigos. Okay, yeah. But the Musketeers, because lo and behold, the Musketeers, the story of the Musketeers was written by Israelite.
Okay.
And the Count of Monte Cristo was also from an Israelite, the same brother.
I didn't know that, sir.
Yeah. It was a Jake, a brother. He wrote that story.
Knowledge. The young brother got knowledge, y'all. Hey, this is a beautiful class. It was very powerful.
Very powerful.
Deep, you know. So with that, I want to say all praise to the Most High Power Yahweh for this knowledge and understanding and this word.
Con.
With that, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, family.